So, all right, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me today. So today, as you know, I've called this the office hours Q&A session. I want to do one of these at the very least every other week, just to kind of like as a check-in, see where everybody's at, make sure nobody's stuck or even falling behind. It certainly, this is a whole go at your own pace. This is all for you to do in your own marketing efforts. But since we started, I think you always want to keep the ball moving forward and continue to get traction and of course get results. So in addition to the normal content-driven type webinars, which again I plan to do as well 2 to 4 times a month. So I'm hoping to go for every week there. I'll be doing these sessions as well to just continually give new content, but also make sure everybody's good with taking the next steps, and we're certainly not moving too fast. So today I want to do a couple things. One is certainly address a few questions, some that came in when I had the session, some that have come in over the past few weeks as everybody's been getting going. And then also talk about, just again, go over a checklist. I'll give you this checklist more both for yourself to kind of see where you are and to see what needs to be done, but also give you a look ahead about what's coming. So let's go through the checklist, and then I'll jump into the questions. And of course, as we're going through here, please feel free to fire away with any questions that you have. So this first set, this is a file that I have on my Google Drive. I'll share this, like I said, I'll share this with you. But I just want to go through here, and essentially this top section under Lead Magnet Checklist, I'm thinking at this point, everybody should have these elements complete. Again, if you don't, hopefully it's just because, look, it's a time thing, and which I get, that it's not something where, again, you feel stuck or there's something holding you back. So if it's something holding you back, then certainly we need to address that. If it's just a time thing, then that's something you're going to have to work through. But essentially, what you should definitely do, if you haven't done already, you see this link here. So I created the training portal. I'll go into it right now. I hope everybody's been in here. I'm going to take this weekend and really try to get even more content ramped up. I tried to get a content in there to really help get you, again, set up and then start to get some traction. So if you haven't been in here, and I do know that not everybody that is signed up to go through this process is in here, because I see how many folks are registered. So I know not everybody is, but I don't know who or who isn't right now. But again, what's in here? Getting the funnel into your account, the onboarding video. Within the onboarding video, you have the email sequence. So if you're looking for the email sequence, it's in the editable, it's in the onboarding video section, as well with the whitelist instructions. I'll include that in the toolbox section that I'll have here shortly. The technical setup videos for getting the funnel set up. And I'm going to talk about this first, what I'm going to call an execution plan that I'm putting together, that is essentially taking some of the content that we've been going through on the webinars these past few weeks and putting them into, I call it a checklist on steroids, where it's checklist and content that's really helping you execute some of these strategies very, very quickly. So I hope that you've been in here. If you haven't, when I share this document with you, you just want to go here to this link and just get registered, and you'll have access. So this video, the video from earlier this week about email marketing, that's going to be in there as well. So all of our content is going to be in that portal so that you have as a go-to resource. So again, hopefully you're in there. Hopefully you've got your lead magnet page customized for your school. You have your 19 questions document customized. Almost everybody, I believe, has sent me their logo, and I got the document set up for you. You're certainly free to edit it however you like. I just wanted to, again, get it to you quickly and have it as a resource that you would be happy to have on your website and your parents getting. But again, I do know that many folks have edited. They've changed some questions. They've added some questions. By all means, do whatever you want that is appropriate for your school. I know the questions may not be perfect for everybody. Hopefully most are, but you should have that done. You should certainly have the funnel pages added to a subdomain of your website. If you struggled with these technical setup items, you're not alone. I had a lot of phone calls, just doing a lot of the how-to, how do we get this set up? And I get that. There's always a lot of technical setup in the beginning that gets a little bit annoying. It's always annoying for me. You just have to work through it. The good news is that once you get a lot of these technical setup items done, like your email platform, getting it on your website, getting the pages created, getting the document created, you really don't have to do much moving forward in regards to those areas. Yes, we might get another lead magnet or two set up, but really it just becomes copy and pasting a lot of what you've already done. So hopefully you haven't struggled too much in the technical stuff. If you have, just get through it. I know it can be a headache. It can be annoying. I've done so many of these in the past for both myself, for ISM, for other clients, and it's never easy. And I don't try to be a technical expert. I know a decent amount just based upon experience, but that's why I said, if you truly do have a technical question, a bug or something comes up, contact ClickFunnels, contact your email service provider. They're definitely going to give you even probably better answers than I can. All right, so again, hopefully your software is integrated with ClickFunnels, and that you've taken the email sequence that I gave to you, that I set up, and you've put that into your email software. I've repeated this a couple times, but I do want to repeat myself again. You do need email software. Constant Contact. I recommend ActiveCampaign if you're looking for a standalone email platform. MailChimp, whatever it is, you need one of those. The Blackbauds, the RenWeb providers, they're not going to do email marketing the way that we're doing it from a pure marketing perspective and automation. And I do recommend Actionetics, which is included with ClickFunnels. I'll talk a little bit about that. Again, that's more for if you're ready to go the advanced route, including text messaging and Facebook messaging and things like that. It's an incredibly powerful platform that does a lot of what HubSpot does at a fraction of the price. For anybody using HubSpot, HubSpot costs about $800 a month. I love HubSpot. It's great. If you're going to go a step down from that, but still do a lot of the advanced stuff with being able to track your prospects, your parents, and profile them automatically, that's where Actionetics comes in. If you're not ready for that, if you're not, frankly, if you don't have the $297 in your budget right now, the $297 a month, you can just use a standard email service platform. So, Linda, this is kind of to your part of your question. I know you had, and I'll answer you after this is done. I'll reply to your email. But I did get a lot of questions. Let me jump over to the questions. These are some of the three main questions that I've been getting a lot outside of technical stuff. You see the center one here. Do I need the $297 package from ClickFunnels or the $97? And it's a really good question. And I hope I was clear. And if I wasn't during the setup process, I apologize. But essentially, ClickFunnels has two platforms. They have the $97 and the $297. That is it. What you get with the $97 is the ability to do the setting up the funnels, setting up those funnel pages. It's the landing page builder software. And then the $297, like I said, that's where the Actionetics comes in, where it's email, but it's a lot of other more advanced automation that can be done. Like I said, if you're not ready for that part, it's okay. So if you're not ready for the Actionetics, either from a you're not ready to do text messaging and Facebook messaging and things like that, or again, the $297 doesn't fit, you just need the $97 plan. Then, like I said, you're going to need an email platform. The email platforms are all based upon the number of subscribers that you have. So let's say you have less than 1,000 subscribers in your database. You can get ActiveCampaign for $17 a month. Or if you go to 2,000 subscribers, I think it might be like $27 or something along those lines. So If you want to do this moving forward, have the lead magnet, have email automation, be able to send out effective emails and do email marketing, you're just going to need the 97 plus, let's call it $17, $20. So all in a given month, you're going to, it'll be about $110 or so to be able to do this on a monthly basis. Along those lines, another question I get is, is there another way to do the landing page? Is there another landing page builder? Could you use something else? You've always got options. There's always two options to build the landing page. One is you can hire somebody to do it. It's going to be more expensive. Or two, you have to use software. There's other software plans out there. So Instapage, sorry. Lead Pages. What else is out there? If you're using, WordPress has plugins, I think there's Optimize Press if you have WordPress. So there's others out there. But also, I think I haven't used Lead Pages in a while. Instapage is $120. Optimize Press, I think, is like $200 some. So $97, $120. You're always going to be in that range if you want the software, if you want the landing page builder. Again, why I recommended ClickFunnels is for two reasons. I've used them a ton. It's easy to build the pages, and also I can share it with you. That was a big key point when I was thinking about how to present this. It was, what could I share with you that it could be in your account right away and save you a lot of time and a lot of money. You're really not going to ever get away from the $90 to $97 or $100 a month to have a landing page done, unless you want to pay somebody, a few $1,000 one time to get it done. So those are really your two options. So again, if you're right now and you're on the $297, you're like, I'm not sure if I want to do $297 moving forward. Not a problem. You will just need other email software to accompany the ClickFunnels platform. So I hope that's clear. If you have questions on that, please don't hesitate to reach out. Like I said, if you're not going to use Actionetics with ClickFunnels, I do recommend ActiveCampaign. But the others that are out there, MailChimp, Constant Contact, they're all going to be in the $20 a month range, and we'll all integrate with ClickFunnels. Okay. All right. So let's go back to. I want to go back to the checklist. So that's the email software. Again, I wanted to clear that up. I received a lot of questions on which software do you recommend? Do we need to use the Actionetics platform? And is there one that doesn't integrate or one that does? All these email platforms do integrate. The only ones that really don't are the Blackbauds and the RenWebs that you might have, and that's not true email marketing software anyway. You might be able to do email on a one-off basis, but not how we're doing it here. So hopefully by now you have the 3-day email sequence set up. In the most recent webinar that I had, I talked about this being a really key action step. So if you missed any of the previous webinars in the past week, some of these next action steps you may not have seen. I'm going to get them into the training portal there for you. But next is you really want to then, what we want to do first, once you have the lead magnet set up, once you have your email sequence set up, is start sending your existing database of parents to your lead magnet page to get them re-engaged with you. I had this question earlier in the week. Hey, we have this database. We have folks that have inquired, that asked for more information. They just never took the next step. What should we do with them? And this is exactly what you should do with them. You know where they are in their journey. You've already got their contact information. They've already inquired. We just need to re-engage them. We need to re-excite them. We need to convert them again to get them on campus or get on a phone call or have a meeting, whatever it might be. You can do that with your lead magnet. The lead magnet is there again. It is certainly to generate leads for yourself and to know, okay, who's opting in, who isn't. But remember the other point of it is that your lead magnet is there to provide valuable content, a valuable resource to your parents. So we're going to talk about how to implement some more lead magnets moving forward, but that's also the reason. So it doesn't matter if you have 100 people visiting your website, 1,000 people, 10,000 people. or if you have 10 people entering their contact information or 100. If your goal is to stand out among your competitors and show off the value of your school to the parents that are evaluating the school for their child, the lead magnet is just one of the ways that you're going to do that at the top of the phone. Okay, so again, go into your database now of parents that you're going to that you already have, and instead of having just one big database, try to start segmenting your current database of parents based upon age of the child, interest, what are they interested in, sports or band or computer science, whatever it might be. If you know that, great. If you don't, okay, just make that standard practice moving forward. And that's certainly what journey stage they're in. Create separate lists in your email database. These are the folks that have inquired. This is who we met at a community event, but they haven't taken the next step. This is the class of 2025, of 2024. Get all of those folks, if you can, into separate lists. Because there are some times where you might want to email everybody, and you can, but there are times where you want to communicate specifically to the kid and the parents who are really looking for the best baseball team. Okay, so you might want to talk to them a little bit differently than others. So segment your database. So if you haven't done that already, try to get that done. And then I mentioned on a webinar, get your Facebook pixel on your website. Get your Facebook pixel on your website. We're not going to do anything with it right now. We're going to have a Facebook ads training later, but get the pixel on your website. The pixel is there to essentially keep track of the people that are visiting your website, visiting the different pages of your website, interacting with your website. What pages are they on? What videos are they watching? So what you can do is when it comes time when you're ready to run an ad on Facebook, you can run an ad to the people that have already been on your website. It's an extremely powerful tool, as opposed to running an ad and you're just going out to a cold audience. So right now there are people clicking around on your website. If your pixel is not set up, you're not going to be able to run ads to them. So if you don't know how to do that, I will include a link in here in this checklist that this is right on Facebook's help page about how to add it to your website. There's a lot of advanced stuff we can do with this. We'll get there, but at the very least, get it on your website. So there's a link to do that. And then, hopefully by this stage, if you've done all of this, it's time to email your current database of parents and send them to your lead magnet. If you don't know how to do that, or you want the emails to do that, again, if you go into the training portal, it should all be here in the training, how to tap into your current database of prospective parents. I think it was about a 50-minute webinar. Here's the email template that you can use to send out. It's pretty much all done for you, and you just have to send it out and see how it goes. So that's where you should hopefully be at or close to being. If you haven't done all of this, try to get through. These are the things that really should be done at this point. The content is there for you to complete these things. Let's just put it that way. The content is there to have everything set up and for you to be ready to email your current database of parents and send them to your lead magnet. Okay? Has anybody here sent an email yet to their existing database? Type a 2 if you have not, and type a 1 if you have. So a couple twos, no ones yet. I know a few of you are close. Yeah, a couple twos. I know a few of you are really close. So it'll be really exciting, and I think as long as you're okay with it, once we start getting there, it'll be fun to talk about some results. What do we need to tweak and present those results to the group as well. It's something I'll propose if you guys want. I can create a separate Facebook group just for folks that are doing the lead magnet. I know that we have the big Facebook group, but if you wanted something smaller to connect with the other people that are engaging in this journey just like you are, I can create that. So that'd be something to let me know if you're interested in. I might propose that in a separate email and take a poll if folks want to do that. So that is what should hopefully be done by this point. And getting yourself ready to start emailing your current database of parents. So let me jump into questions, and then I'll jump into what's next. So here are the three main questions that I received outside of technical stuff. We already addressed one of them, which was what plan do I need? The 297 ClickFunnels plan or the 97? At a minimum, you need the 97. Add on your email platform, and you're talking about 110 a month or so, 120 a month to have the full system in place. And again, there's really no getting around. If you want to have the landing pages to put the lead magnet on, there's no getting around having the landing page builder of some sort. And ClickFunnels will do just like everybody else, and vice versa, and at a good price. All right, how do I get the Facebook like button? So apparently there were some issues with that on your landing page, having that how many people liked your website, having your own school's like button there. So, and what I'm referring to is once it pops up here, this little widget here, this Facebook widget that shows how many people liked your Facebook page. If you want to get that, all you have to do is go to this page, and I will include this in the questions, and I'll send this to everybody as well. So just go to, you could just Google like button, Facebook like button, Facebook page like button for a website, and it'll take you here. All you need to do is put in your Facebook page here and get the button, get the code, and then you just copy and paste the code into the editor portion of ClickFunnels where I have it. Just replace what I have, and you'll get something that looks like, it'll give you this code, and you just have to put that in there. All right, so it should be really easy. Again, if you get stuck, again, it's directly on Facebook. They'll help you, or you can certainly email me and let me know, and I can certainly help. Another really great question that I got the other day was, and this is a school that I know is very close to sending their lead magnet out. They decided to tweak it a little bit, and they scheduled out 5 emails over 5 days. So I gave you guys 3 emails over 3 days. They put out 5 emails over 5 days, which is great. If you can get up to 5 to 7 automated emails to go out, that's great. I don't like to go too much further than that with automation. I think you lose some of the personality behind it, but 5 to 3, 5, 7 days, being in that range is great to set it up because you're sending out a lot of communication that's really helping people move them along and help them take action. So this school has scheduled 5 emails within 5 days. They did a 22 questions guide, and they're finalizing their 22 questions guide. How do you think we should measure success? So when you guys are ready to start emailing your parents, the next question is, what does success look like? So that's a great question, and I'll answer it right here. There are a couple metrics that will tell you right away how you're doing with your results. So first is deliverability. I'm going to type it in as we go. First is deliverability. This means how many emails did you send out that were actually delivered? And hopefully you're above 95%. So that means 95% of the emails that you have in your database got delivered. If you're getting less than that, it just means you need to clean up your database, because that's telling you that there's a lot of emails in your system that are not active, or they're bounces, or they're fakes, or whatever. If you get below 95%, even 97%, that's actually really going to hurt you moving forward in what these email software platforms, they want to make sure that the people that are using their software, the companies, the schools, that they're sending good emails and not doing any sort of spammy things. And to them, if you're sending emails and your deliverability is low, it's telling them that you don't have a good, clean database of accurate emails. So just make sure your deliverability, and this is all in your metrics with your email software. So look at deliverability, have it above 95%. Then you want to look at open rates. So when you send out your email, what percentage of parents opened? At a minimum, 25%. I'd like to see you get into the 35 to 40% range of open rates. Okay? If you're in that range, if you're above that, great. If you're in that range, you're doing okay. If you're lower than 25%, then it's telling you that people are not, or they're not getting it. Maybe they're using Gmail and that you're going in their promotions tab. Maybe it's going in the spam folder, or they're just blind to your emails at this point. They don't find them of value. So there are certain things we can do that if you have really low open rates, how we can get them re-engaged and send subject lines or send out emails with subject lines that really compels people to open up and click to see, hey, what's going on. And so you really want to work on getting your open rates above 25%. And we'll again, as we do a lot more training, we're going to talk about some ways to certainly get folks to open up your emails with really good subject lines, and just getting them essentially trained to expect your emails on a frequent basis and to open your emails, because they're always going to feel that when you send an email, they're going to get value. That's the point that's where you always want to get to. Okay, so open rates, 25 to, let's just say 35% is a really nice range to be in. What's the next one? Click-through rate. So of the people that open, how many are clicking? So I like to base, there's two ways to look at it. I mean, you can look at based upon those that have opened, or the number of how many clicked based upon the number you sent to. The click-through rate of people that opened, roughly around 5 to 10% is a good number. 5 to 10% of the folks that opened click your link. If you're getting 1%, 2%, many times I've seen that happens because your email might be too long. There might be too many things going on in your email. If you notice, many times the emails that I send you guys as invites, maybe to webinars or to other things, downloads, I try to keep it relatively short, have 2 places to click, but it's always one singular focus. My singular focus is essentially to sell you guys on clicking. I have to provide you with good information that you're compelled enough to click and to take an action. Let's say register for a webinar. So when you're sending out the email to get people to go to your lead magnet, your only job with your email is to sell the click. So you want to make sure those click-through rates are at least 5 to 10%. Okay? The other big one, the one we never like to see, unsubscribe rate. Okay, hopefully we're less than 1% on an unsubscribe rate. And this is whenever you're sending out an email. Every time I send out an email, I'm looking at these numbers. You hope that the unsubscribe rate, and when I say unsubscribe rate, I'm also saying complaint rate. Hopefully you don't get many complaints. Unsubscribe and complaint rate is less than 1%. If you're getting above that, that's telling you that you just have a database of parents that they're not liking your emails, and they're not getting value from them. So that'll tell you right away if you need to, essentially revamp your communication through your email. And again, we'll have some more trainings on this. If you notice that these things are happening, by the way, if you go send an email and you're getting unsubscribe rates of 2, 3, 4%, your open rates are 10%. Here's an offer that I'll make to you. Send me some of your recent emails that you sent, or let's even get on a call and let's just talk about it. Hey, what have you sent this past month? And we'll take a look at the emails and we'll see, okay, yeah, here's why this is happening, or we'll see what's going on. So let me know if you're seeing anything that's really different from these numbers. If your open rates are at 10%, your click-through rates are at 1%, your unsubscribe rates are going through the roof, whatever it might be, if you see something that's off, let me know. Happy to help. Okay? Now, there's one other thing. This is about emails, right? Because we're doing a lot of emailing to get people to take an action, right? So these are the 4 key numbers that I'm looking for when I'm emailing. There's a 5th metric, though, that's going to help you determine success of your lead magnet, and that's your conversion rate. So for all the people that go and hit your landing page, let's say for every 100 people that go to your landing page, how many are actually opting in and giving you their contact information? The number you want to strive for is 40%. That's the number you want to strive for. That's if you're sending people directly to your lead magnet. You send an email, You run an ad and you're telling them, I have this, if you want to help evaluate the best private school for your child, go to this page, download our checklist, our 19 questions guide, and we'll send it to you. When you're doing that, you should be, let's just go to 30 to 40% range. I've seen them in the 50 to 60% range for really, really good ones. If you're in the 10 to 15 to 20% range, there's things that we need to tweak. We're going to talk about how to increase conversion rates. You'll be very surprised that things like changing the color of a button. Let's go back to it. Things like changing this color to blue or to red could help or hurt the opt-in rates. If you decided to, the reason we don't have navigation here is that's proven to increase conversion rates because you're not distracting people. If you decide to kind of buck the system at all during this and you say, you know what, I just want to put this on our website and make it look like the rest of it, I promise you your conversion rates will go in the tank. So make sure that the reason these are separate pages is so that it increases conversions. The reason that I created a pop-up like this when you go to download is because that has been proven to increase conversions. There are some times where maybe this doesn't work. I'll show you how to tweak this, that if we're getting really low conversions, if you're getting really low conversions, there's things we can mess around with based upon where your traffic's coming from to see how we can increase those conversion rates. And we're eventually going to do, I don't want you to get too overwhelmed with this, but we're eventually going to do something that's called A/B testing. We're going to create the same exact page. We're going to duplicate this. We're going to change a couple things. Colors, instead of having a pop-up, we're just going to have a form. And what you're going to be able to do, the software is going to be able to do automatically for you, is some people will see landing page A, some people will see landing page B. After, let's say, 100 or 200 people go to see it, you're going to see which one is the winner. And then you can run with that one. Okay, so testing is always going to be a really, really important of making sure you're maximizing the amount of leads from your existing effort. If you're doing the same thing, but one landing page gets you 40 leads for every 100 page visitors versus 10, there's something that needs to be updated there. So you're going to lose some traction. So we didn't get into the A/B testing yet because, again, I just wanted to get you guys off and running as quickly as possible. It's not difficult to set it up. It's a matter of duplicating your page and setting up as an A/B test. We'll get there. I first just want to get this out there. And the fact that, not everybody is done, not everybody has reached the point where they're emailing. I don't want to add in any other tasks for you to do other than getting the first email out to your parents to get them to your lead magnet. Okay? So those are the metrics. Those are the metrics. Conversion rate, 30 to 40%. So when you send out your email to your first batch of parents, you're going to look at these email numbers and this conversion rate, and you're going to see where you stand. And that's not going to be the end-all, be-all. It might be a small sample, but we'll have to try to do it again and see where we stand. But these will be some decent numbers to keep in the back of your mind as you're starting to move forward. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's what should be done. Those are some answers to some questions. I don't see any others right now. So I want to talk about what's coming next. So let's say you have your lead magnet set up. You send the email. Everything's going great. You've got some parents now going through your automation sequence, and you might be wondering, what do we do now? Okay. So there's a couple things that we want to do. Some of these are strategy things. Others are, what are some other resources we could tap into to get, even more leads going through the system. So the next thing I'm going to recommend that you do is add CTAs for your lead magnet. CTAs are calls to action. So calls to action meaning, what are the images, the banners, the links where people are going to find your landing page? So if you're not sending them directly, people are just clicking around your website, how do they find your lead magnet landing page? Well, it's through what's called a CTA. And they're usually included in blog posts. And when you have a blog, that's where you want to put it. But if you don't have a blog yet, the two other core places that It doesn't mean you can't have a CTA yet, a call to action or a link over to your landing page. You can put the CTA on your home page and on your admissions page, where if somebody's on your admissions page, they're obviously looking to learn more. That could be a great place to put your lead magnet. Now, what does the CTA look like? If you haven't seen this, and I haven't finished it yet, but if you go in here, the 2-step quick start guide to getting your first lead magnet subscribers inside the training portal, you'll see I have step 1 is install CTAs. So I wrote up an entire guide on where they should live, how to set them up, example. So then I showed you, oh, cool, here's what their CTA looks like. This is on their homepage. The sidebar of Sewickley Academy, they have their college research worksheet. I have, within a blog post, I have Whitby. They put the calls to action in their blog post. And you can even do pop-ups. So you can do this with ClickFunnels as well. You can do things like have a pop-up where it could be a pop-up when somebody's going to leave a page. It could be a pop-up when somebody clicks a link. But those are really 4 key ways. And what I showed here, what's really cool is that Sewickley Academy, they're actually using 3 out of 4 of the locations. They have a sidebar lead magnet. They have an end of the blog post lead magnet and a pop-up lead magnet, all 3 different lead magnets. So that's what we're going to get to, guys. But at the very least, you want to have a call to action, which a call to action you're going to see. Let me see here. Give me a throw something here for you about what should be included in a call to action. Here you go. As you can see in Oak Knolls and in Sewickley's and in Whitby's, they're all the same look, and it's for a reason. You want to create an image that shows your lead magnet, the image. You tell them what it is, a free ebook, in this case, a free guide for our 19 questions guide, the title and description, so insider tips on surviving freshman year, and the actual call to action telling them what to do, download now. All right, so every time you create a call to action, you essentially want it to look like that. If you have a designer to do that, great, go have them do it. If you don't, and you like to do things yourself, there's a great website I use all the time. It is called Canva, and let me see if I can remember bear with me for a second. So as you can see, I started creating one for you guys if you wanted to use this or update it. I did this all in Canva, and you can do this in Canva. So whenever I'm looking to create images and call to action, I use this, and I just create something that looks like this. You know, I have to change some of the colors around, but they have the layouts done. You can just use this and put this on your website. All right, I'm going to create some for you. I actually don't like the look of this one, so I'm going to make this look a little bit better. I'll create them for you that are pretty generic. You just have to put them on your website and, of course, add the appropriate link. So these are calls to action, and that's where you want to get to next, is get them on your website. And let's just run through about what's coming next once you're done everything. So then you want to start compiling all the existing content that you have. What are the videos that you have? What are the articles, the blog posts? Where have you been highlighted in local magazines? And we want to start segmenting our content based upon the parent value journey stage. Okay, what content can I show to somebody after they've inquired to get them to come on campus? After they come on campus and I want to keep getting them excited and compel them to fill out, an application or have a one-on-one meeting, whatever's next in your process, what's content that I can deliver to them at that stage? So you want to start having content based upon the journey stage. And it's easier to create that content when you start having a blog and things like that. But even before you start having a blog, you likely have existing content and videos laying around. So trying to segment that, and that's what you can start using in your email communication, so that as people get segmented on your email database, and you have some people that are just, we'll call them prospects, top of the funnel, they're just still evaluating. You have some folks that have inquired. You have some folks that have been on open house. You can then, what content you need to deliver to them. So try to start segmenting your content. And when I say here's what's next, we're going to have some training on this. I'm going to include all this in the training portal, either as an execution plan, which are those checklists on steroids, or full-blown webinars. We're going to talk about this, but I just kind of want to get you mentally prepared. Then we're going to start tapping into your feeder schools and community relationships. What feeder schools have newsletters? What community relationships can you tap into their database? Newspaper contacts. Because what you're going to do with them is you're going to give them the call to action or a description for your lead magnet, and so that they can email their database of parents, say, hey, especially if it's a feeder school, hey parents, are you looking for that high school once you get out of our middle school? Here's a guide from a local school that'll help you, evaluate, 19 questions guide. So again, you're starting to generate leads then from your feeder schools through your lead magnet by harnessing their database. All right. So, and they like it as well because it's value. They're always looking for content to send out to parents, right? Whether it's another school, whether it's another business, whether it's a local newspaper, or any sort of other business or group that you're affiliated with, they're always looking for ways to provide value to their own constituents. So your lead magnet can be of value to them. And as you have a blog, continue to provide them with your content. It gets people to engage with your website in your school. All right. So once you have that done, I mentioned this in one of the webinars about 2 weeks ago, is one of the things you really want to do is I can't emphasize it enough. You really do want to start to have a blog. Maybe it's a written blog, maybe it's a video blog, and just a blog meaning you're developing content that is helpful for parents and answers questions, that helps showcase your school, helps showcase your mission, helps separate yourself from your competitors, and shows parents why your school is the best for their child. That's what you use the blog for, and you can start that. Don't get overwhelmed by the idea of having a blog, because a blog you might think I can always create this new content. Focus on one amazing piece of content that answers a key question that would help your parents evaluate school and based upon your mission. So I have a webinar on that. I talked about that in the, let me go back. It's in the training portal. It's the how to start generating leads with your lead magnet funnel. It's in this webinar. Where we start talking about, it's in the Jumpstart plan, where you want to create that one amazing piece of content, right? And then we're going to get into doing training on blogging and developing content, how you can really do a lot of blogging without even writing a whole lot of content so that you don't get overwhelmed. Facebook ad training. Facebook ads are phenomenal when done right. So we're going to talk about then, once you've tapped into your existing database and your community database and feeder schools, we're going to have to start advertising, right? Doing some of the paid advertising you're likely already doing. You already have a budget for of some capacity. But if you haven't done it already, you're going to start doing some Facebook advertising. It's highly recommended. And the ideal way to start your Facebook advertising is based upon your Facebook pixel that you have set up, because that's going to attract people that are on your website. It's called a custom audience. You're going to be able to run ads to your own custom audience of people that are already familiar with who you are. It lowers your overall advertising costs, and it increases your click-through rates, because you don't really have to convince people who you are. They know who you are, and they're not surprised to see your ad, and they're more likely to engage. So we're going to do Facebook ad. And then, guys, and this might come sooner, I'm not sure yet, I'm going to develop lead magnet. That's going to be the interactive portrait of a graduate. You may have seen in previous webinars, even before we talked about this initial lead magnet. I really like the idea of the interactive portrait of a graduate, and I'm going to look to build that within ClickFunnels and give that to you and share it in the same exact way that I shared the original lead magnet with you. And then you'll, of course, be able to tweak it based upon your school, but the foundation is going to be there. So, all right, so that's what should be done, or hopefully done soon, and what's coming. Hopefully these questions were answered. Do I have any other questions for me while I am here? I don't see any right now. I I'm going to include all of this in this training portal. I have some stuff to still get in here, so that's all coming. Just make sure you're in here and starting to engage here, and just familiarize yourself with and getting used to being in here. And I do want to draw your attention to this marketing toolbox. If you're looking to start blogging already, by the way, I put in these 2 guides here for you. The ultimate list of blog post ideas. Great way to get blog post ideas so you don't have to always worry about what I'm going to write about next. And then a content planner, how to plan out, a whole schedule of your blog content. It's an Excel file that's kind of interactive where you can figure out what am I going to say, who am I going to say it to, what is my offer, a lead magnet, open house, whatever. So that's there. I'm going to be adding a lot more stuff into here, but just want to let you guys know, here's what's in there right now and there for you of value. So, all right. Well, I hope this is helpful. I hope that this is something that you want to do, let's say every other week, kind of as like a check-in where we're at and what's coming next. So if you have any feedback whatsoever based upon, hey, we should be doing this better, or I really like the way this is going, or hey, for the future, I really recommend you take this approach, I'm all ears. I'm looking to make this as streamlined and as easy to implement as possible. All I'm looking for is that you guys are getting the results that you want and expect, especially as you launched into this. So keep me updated. Let me know how you're feeling, what's going on. I've had a lot of you reach out to me personally to either help with something on the technical side or help with the strategy side. So if you haven't done that already, but you need to, don't be shy. Please reach out. I'm here to help and provide as much, again, both value and support as possible. So I don't see any other questions. So with that, guys, I'll let you go. Have a great weekend, and I'll keep you updated. Obviously, we're going to come up on the Thanksgiving holiday here next week. I'm not sure if we'll have a session next week, but I'll keep you updated. So, okay, so Linda, I saw your comment. Thank you for your help. I'm feeling like I need to hire a webmaster. I can see how this can help us with leads, so my job focus may have to shift. Yeah, Linda. I mean, let's talk about the webmaster idea. Yes, it always just comes down to who's going to do what. If this ends up being another hat that you have to wear and that's overwhelming, yeah, it might be. And it could be somebody part-time. It could be a freelance person to fulfill certain tasks. There's a lot of ways to do it. It just kind of depends on what you're feeling like needs to be done. So I'm happy to help in that and give guidance if you are looking to either hire somebody new or just somebody to complete tasks, whether it's even just getting the emails out or things like that. So I'm happy to help and give guidance there. Okay, so Linda, you said freelance person. Yep. Yeah, and they work perfectly fine. I've even used them in the past to just accomplish some tasks where I was just like, I was swamped and I needed somebody to even run ads for me, or based upon the guidance that I gave them, just perform the actual executable task of doing it. I think having somebody at your side to do that is extremely helpful and many times needed. So, all right. All right, guys. Okay. I don't see any other questions, but if I did miss you, again, just shoot me a message anytime, and I'm happy to either jump on a call or reply to email. So have a great weekend, everybody. I'll add this into the training portal so that you have it there, and I'll see you on the next training, in the next webinar. Take care, guys.